Across its multiple iterations, the Star Trek casts in general are some of the most insufferable people in all of Hollywood, with a couple of notable exceptions. Shout out William Shatner for being based as hell, but for every Shatner that's out there, you got a George Takei, you've got a brainless Patrick Stewart, hell of an actor, insufferable human being. And then, of course, you have good old Geordi LaForge from TNG. You've got yourself LeVar Burton, who is probably, it is really tough with George Takei right there, but he's probably the biggest race hustler to come out of the franchise, because it's not just him, he's also got his daughter in on the grift, and well, he's just been insufferable for a long time. I understand that, he's inexorably linked to a lot of people's childhoods, either from TNG or from reading Rainbow, but the guy is just awful time and time again. This Star Trek TNG cast member found his character's role insulting. Now you're gonna go ahead and run this back how many decades removed? Come on now. LeVar Burton, who starred as Next Generation cast member Geordi LaForge in the Star Trek series TNG and subsequent Star Trek movies, the less said about those the better, has said he found the treatment of his characters to be insulting. I wasn't the captain, therefore, in this role that I'm still beloved for decades later, and I was paid handsomely for, I was being insulted because I had to wear the air cleaner on my face. Old joke, I know. From TNG Season 1 right up until the end of the TNG movies, and with Nemesis. Was he a part of Picard Season 3? He must have been. Burton was one of the leading Star Trek characters of the era. Yeah, exactly, man. Like, he's still referenced to this day. Most of the time, people just go Star Trek. Oh, yeah, that's scuffed series now that's just resulted in more dead pilots than Al-Qaeda. It's terrible. While he began as the helmsman aboard the Enterprise D, Geordi LaForge is soon promoted to his role as chief engineer, the role for which his character is still best known. He became a fan favorite character for his warmth and charisma, and he played an important role in the TV series as best friend and foil to Data. Of course, another long-running plot point throughout TNG for LaForge is that struggle to build a love life. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Burton opened up about the particular aspect of Geordi's character, saying that he found it to be insulting, that it was the result of unconscious racial bias. Oh my god. This is what he's descended in recent years, by the way. Everything is racist. Everything is problematic, and he needs to point it out. And asked if he would want anything about Geordi to be different if TNG were made today. Burton replied, yeah, he'd get laid. What the okay. He continued, it's insulting, whether they're aware of it or not. Those white men who wrote the show, oh my god, had unconscious bias that was on display to me and other people of color. Yeah, Star Trek, just famous for all of their racism, like Uhura back during the original series. All of its post-racial societies working together in harmony. No. Gene Roddenberry, he a known racist, that guy. Shut up. There's a blind spot revealed. Oh, okay, the fact that a black man never was successful at one of his the basic and most, my wife says, there's a lid for every pot. Wow, your wife's a real smart person. And it's true, the idea that Geordi never found his lid for his pot is ludicrous, it's preposterous, and it's insulting. But hey, I would just go ahead and, just watch who you're criticizing there for unconscious racial bias, because somebody out there might be carrying some deep-seated racism himself. Watch LeVar Burton discover he's part white on Finding Your Roots. Oh, why does this always happen? Because you had that other racism peddler, Angela Davis, find out that she was also descendant from white slave owners. Very strange how the people that always want to push all of this racist nonsense are always the ones with the most to hide. Very, very strange. Very strange. On Tuesday night's episode, this was a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but, a few weeks ago. Okay, Finding Your Roots, LeVar Burton was shocked to discover that he's part white. Burton, the renowned host of PBS educational series Reading Rainbow and star of Roots. Oh my god, Kunta Kinte is actually white. Oh no. And Star Trek, yes, The Next Generation, came into the show with a question about his family tree. Not going to make the obvious joke, since him and his two sisters were raised by a single mother. living up to stereotypes. Irma Jean in Sacramento, California, and Dr. Henry Louis Gates Jr., host of the PBS genealogy series that traces celebrities' ancestry, and is currently on its 10th season, had plenty of answers for him. Gates uncovered that on his mother's side, didn't even need to know about old dear daddy's dabblins. Burton had a great-great-grandfather named James Henry Dixon. He's like, oh no, that doesn't sound very African. Who was white. Dun dun dun. Dixon had an extramarital affair with a black woman who was a former slave. Okay. They had a child together. Who was Burton's great grandmother, Mary. Oh my God. I'd play the clip for you, but YouTube, and even though PBS is supposed to be publicly broadcasted, they'll still strike you down. Wow. Revealed a stunned Burton upon learning the news, later adding, I fought you 5 minutes ago if you had told me that I had a white great-grandfather. Why is that racist? Like, what's so wrong with being white? It's pretty great. What, Kunta got a white ancestry? What? Come on now, Skip. When asked by Gates if he had ever thought he had a white direct ancestor, Burton laughed, tilted his head back, and screamed, No, I had no idea. So Granny was half white. Yeah. Sucks to suck, I guess. On top of all of that, Dixon was born in 1847 as a teenager and served in North Carolina Confederate Junior Reserves. Ooh, yeah, a subset of the Confederate Army. Ooh, boy, if he ever decides to do a little bit more digging into his own family tree, he's going to find out just exactly how many black people, or even half black people, were out there fighting on behalf of the Confederacy. Well, that's going to be real shocking for him someday. There's some conflict roiling inside of me right now, but oddly enough, I feel a pathway opening up. Oh my God. I believe we need to have this conversation about who we really are, who we are, and how we got here. Yeah, here's the thing. You just got given some information. You're still the same race hustling piece of shit that you were 10 seconds ago, and it doesn't make you any different at all whatsoever. People are still going to look at you and go, Geordi LaForge, very black guy, okay? Your ancestors, outside of some of your immutable characteristics, don't fundamentally change who you are. It's cool to learn, but realistically, doesn't change you all that much. But this is your mind on CRT. This is your mind on constant race hustling. I believe we need to have this conversation about who we are and how we got here. We need that we are so polarized politically, emotionally, and racially. Wow. Self-awareness, huh? I guess you didn't find that in your family tree. We are not talking to each other. I've looked for an entry point to talk to white America. Here it is. Yeah, at the same time, they're just going to go, oh, yeah, you were on Star Trek, right? That's really good. You the Reading Rainbow guy. That's crazy. You still would have had those exact same entry points. But, man, these people who tasted fame are just so far removed from reality. Last year, Rolling Stone spoke to True Blood and Magic Mike's actor Joe Manganiello, whatever, who discovered that he's part black and descended from slaves on the PBS show. And he was like, oh, that's interesting. Well, the Moors back in Sicily. Future season 10 episodes will feature Better Call Saul actor Bob Odenkirk, who also has a very tenuous grasp on reality. Didn't he almost die because he didn't want to take advice from his mega doctor? Idiot. Van Halen singer, Sammy Hagar, and Married with Children star Ed O'Neill. So funny how Married with Children is the go-to reference for Ed O'Neill when he was in a very successful sitcom recently, Modern Family. But yeah, just like most modern entertainment, that just goes completely and totally by the wayside. But LeVar Burton wasn't done reconciling with the fact that, oh my God, I'm part white. I just can't handle this anymore. My mind has been blown. I'm a different individual. It's like, no, you're not. Just stop trying to grandstand on all this stuff. So he's out there posting the clips, sharing it around. Let's just see if we can get something without sound. Oh my God, that's him right there. There's my ancestor. Oh my God, there's my ancestor right there. You got the big curly mustache and all that stuff. Wow, man. I spent my life hating white people, but I guess now that really is just self-hatred. It's like, yeah, could have told you that beforehand, all that projection that you have on display right there. But Llama with a Gun, shout out to him. It kind of seems super sideways that you got this much of an issue having white ancestors. Like, dude, you were on a show completely constructed around saying that we get past petty things like that. There's nothing wrong with having white ancestry. I'd have fought you. Yikes, dude. Yeah, exactly, because he said after that, oh, I would have fought you if you would have said that I had a white ancestor. But then after that, either you are an insensitive troll or you possess an acute lack of understanding for humanity. Yeah, it's so interesting. Basically painting white people as being the opposition, as your enemy, as unequal to you, and then once again projecting on other people by just simply saying you're just a troll or you don't understand. It's one thing to know something on an intellectual level, another matter entirely to be introduced to an emotional truth that is both surprising and wholly unexpected. The llama with a gun rode up one more time. No, LeVar, I would have fought you is very different from surprising and wholly unexpected. Yo, man, this guy's out here speaking truth. Yo, better call up Data because this guy's being logical as hell. They then said that they weren't trolling or lacking acute understanding. They also accused him of demeaning them. Yeah, exactly. Your reaction was your reaction, they added. Yeah, exactly. LeVar Burton responded by stating the correct way to spell his name. Yo, you know you've lost the argument at that point in time. We're just simply pointing out grammar. It's either when you just point, hey, I'm richer than you, people know who I am, or if you just start to point to grammar, and it's like, you failed spectacularly, man. You better go back and start reading all of those anti-fragile books, because that'll probably end up serving you better than reading any genealogy books going forward. Sucks to suck there, Geordi. But I guess if you're looking for an in the white community, now you can go out there and say that you're a part white. So I guess all the white pussies back on the table. So with all that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.